Rasty McGibbon with Craig Barnett, Executive Director of the ACHA. Craig, thanks for coming on 5 Minute Major.
I appreciate it.
You throw a heck of a party, okay? If you look at it, you know, the feedback that I've gotten sitting here, you know, it's almost like I'm inside the Bloomingdale's window watching the crowds going by, but the feedback I'm getting is incredible. How many teams were here? How many games? Do you have those?
Yeah, this is it's a great place to host our national tournament. We expanded our field this year. Men's Division I expanded to 24 teams qualifying for the national tournament. So the numbers for the 2024 national tournament, we have 82 teams here, 117 games, and 5 divisional champions. We already have 2 as we're speaking, and we'll crown 3 more in the next 3 days.
Tell me about the feedback that you've received about the expansion of Men's One.
I think it's it's the way it works with the ACHA is each division have the ability to discuss and vote on how they want to do their tournament format and so forth. The ACHA will take a look at it and see how it impacts the overall association financially. So they felt that as we continue to grow, not only in Men's Division I but in other divisions, that it was time to add a few more teams to the tournament. So I think it's been great. I mean, we saw the games the first day where it's basically with Division I single elimination. So every game we play at that level is they're fighting for their lives, so to speak, and it makes it for a very exciting game. So by adding 4 teams and 4 more games to their division, we're adding more exciting hockey, to the national tournament overall. So I feel it's been great. Men's Division I, we saw the games right down the stretch. Every game was a tight game, and once again, including the national championship game itself with Adrian and UNLV this year.
So, I think for all of the naysayers that were worried about, a heterogeneous level of hockey, we did see some upsets by the teams that were, part of the expansion group, which I think spoke to the level of homogeneity in Men's One, and that really, any team can win on any day.
And that's exactly right. Especially like we just talked about with single elimination tournaments. That's tough, but that's what the coaches vote on and that they want. As you know, most of our other divisions, especially Men's 2, Men's 3, and W2, they do pool play. So the teams know coming in that they got 3 games.
Right.
But there's a strategy there as well. Especially going into that 3rd day of pool play, where you've got to understand where you are, how many goals you have for, how many against, and so forth. So again, it's exciting because it's a little different. Than W1, which is going on right now as we sit here. It's kind of a hybrid model. It's almost like a double elimination. And then our top 2 seeds come in and start playing on day 3. And for our top 2 seeds, it is a single elimination. So that's where we are right here today. So it should be exciting hockey as well later on today. So 117 games in 10, 11 days here in St. Louis, and with the support that we get by the Sports Commission and the St. Louis Blues and everybody else, it's just been so far a terrific experience.
Tell me a little bit about the formation of that partnership. Then also kind of segue, some of the comments that I've gotten, and I mean, I'm sitting here 10 or 11 hours a day, so I see a lot of people, right? Is they say, what? So much work must have gone into this because it appears so effortless. But we know it's not effortless. Yes, yeah. But tell me about how the partnership with the St. Louis Sports Commission and the Blues has made this possible, and then kind of take me back to when the planning starts for these 10 or 11 days of hockey to make it look effortless.
Sure. Yeah. We get feedback from our membership. There was at our general session at our annual meetings, it was a topic of conversation on the agenda 2 years ago about what the membership wanted. I love assess and reassess. I'm an assess guy. Assess, reassess. Something that worked 2 years ago might not be the best thing today. And at the end of the day, for the American Collegiate Hockey Association, it's all about the student athletes. It's all about the student athlete experience, and we want to make sure that we're doing the best we can, for our teams that qualify for the national tournament to come and have a great experience, and also for the teams throughout the season that they're having a great experience. So that's the number one thing. So when when the membership voted and chose overwhelmingly to keep all 5 divisions together at one location, and what I try to do is define that even further, not just one location, but one roof.
Sure.
That provides that environment and that atmosphere where you have so many games going on at once, and the parents and the fans and even the players, they get to intermingle with each other and so forth. So with that direction from membership, we had the opportunity. We were contacted by the St. Louis Blues early on. St. Louis is a great NHL market. It's not too big. We've been in some places that, it's very big, and we don't get to interact that much with those NHL teams. St. Louis market it's a hockey city to begin with, hockey, soccer city to begin with, but they love their hockey here. So they reached out. They were building this brand new practice facility for the Blues, the Centene Community Ice Center, as was Maryville University with their Maryville University Hockey Center at the same time. So here's a situation where we have, 4 sheets of ice here, including the large outdoor amphitheater that we use for practices. We don't use them for games. So we had 3 indoor facilities here, and then with 117 games, it's hard to do it all within 9-10 days with 3 sheets of ice. So we had some games this year at Maryville University, which is about 10 miles down the road, and it worked out very well. Our plan next year is to expand the overall dates of the national tournament. The divisional dates will stay the same, the amount of time, but be able to stagger it a little differently so we can get all 117 games under the Centene Community Ice Center. So you have the facilities, you have the support, the St. Louis Blues, the St. Louis Sports Commission were very involved. That helps us with our travel, our hotel accommodations, the restaurants, and partnerships here locally. And when you have the ability to tie all that together, that creates a successful location for our teams, our student athletes, and our fans to come to and enjoy the experience. So we were here in 2022, as you know, and we had a very successful tournament. From important things for us to operate, such as ticket sales and merchandise sales, and the ability to use our partner Flow Hockey to broadcast live all 117 games. And what else was really that added to the success was you being here, setting up the studio across the hall from here in 2022, and we started, as you're doing right now, talking to all of our student athletes and coaches, and even some parents and grandparents about the success. And as they walk by this studio, and you're interviewing, the young lady that just scored the overtime winning goal. It's so neat to see 3-4 rows of parents and players and teammates standing there and watching the interviews. You're providing a value and an experience to this to our national tournament that we never had before. We were in St. Louis before, so there's a lot going on that's made St. Louis in 2022 a huge success. And when they reached back out to us shortly after that tournament to come back, we were all ears, and I think for our membership, we'd like to see it move around a little bit, but at the same time, the location is centrally located, St. Louis, for we have teams in 46 states and 2 Canadian provinces. It's centrally located. It's not as expensive in some areas, such as hotel costs and so forth, as some other places we've been to. So for us right now, it financially, experience-wise for our student athletes, it's a great location.
Tell me how fantastic the facility staff here at Centene have been. I think they've just been over the top. This is my 19th year of involvement. There have definitely been ones that were more troublesome than here. I don't think troublesome at all. But just take a minute and give some props to the staff here.
Oh, it's been, not only the Centene staff, but also the Maryville University Hockey Center staff and our staff, of course, the ACHA staff. It's been a great marriage, so to speak. We start planning our national tournaments in October. We develop a local organizing committee comprised of ACHA staff and our host staff, so this being the St. Louis committee staff. And we meet twice a month through Zooms. It's usually about 16, 20 of us on the calls, and we have task lists and we identify areas of responsibilities. And again, the whole time we're thinking about, what can we do better? What would the student athletes like to see? And we start planning that far in advance. And what we do by that, I feel, is we probably eliminate a few surprises that would just happen if we just showed up.
Sure.
You can't just show up to these types of events. So the planning, and then you come here and you see everything in action, and it's just so rewarding. But Jeremy Hustling, who's the general manager of this great facility, and from Luke Taylor to Parker Nugent to his whole staff. I mean, they've just been tremendous. What can I do? What can I do? Type of attitude. And anytime you work with can-do attitudes, you can do a lot. And I'd say the same true with John Hogan and the Maryville University Hockey Center, and of course our staff from. I don't even want to start naming names because it will take too long, but it will forget somebody because the team itself has just been, fantastic to work with, and we're almost over the hump here, and looking forward to a few more games.
So tonight we're going to be crowning a men's 2 national championship, and I got the trophy looking sharp. As we look forward to the membership that we have in the ACHA, correct me if I'm wrong, I think over 470 teams in men's 1, 2, and 3, women's 1 and 2. Where do you see potential areas of growth for the league?
Well, I think we see a lot of potential for growth. I think what the ACHA is starting to get a lot of notoriety now, based not only on the size. Everyone's always amazed at the size and where our teams are located and so forth, but the quality of play. You got to remember, up until about 2 years ago, NCAA Division I, which for any young prospective student athlete, that's the ultimate goal. Boys or girls, prospective student athletes, they all want to play Division I hockey, the top, but at the end of the day, especially on the men's side, it hasn't really grown much over the last 10, 15 years. Right. What's grown a lot is the amount of youth hockey players that are coming through the USA Hockey ADM model and so forth, starting with the American Development Model and moving up through, squirts, through peewees, through bantams, 16U, 18U. So there's so many better hockey players now because they're bigger, stronger, faster. I think technology has a lot to do with it. These kids can watch their, get analytical reports from their games, watch their play. The coaches have the ability to use technology to help their team be better. So we have so many better players. And again, we have started to see a little growth now at the NCAA Division I level, but there's so many more players than there was, so there's the overflow. I like to think there's a lot of good NCAA Division I players that are playing in some of our top teams in the ACHA. And so that has grown a lot, and that's raised our game. I think in terms of specifics, we're really excited about our women's side, W1 and W2. We'll be over 100 teams in women's hockey next year, just with our 2 divisions, which is fantastic. And I'll go back to the quality of play. We just watched a very exciting game out there with McKendree and Minot State, and go to overtime to advance in this tournament. And it was exciting. We got a full house in the rink behind us, and that's all, it goes back to the student athlete experience. Like, that was an experience to watch that come to fruition and so forth. And McKendree obviously a little disappointed with the loss, but it was a great game. But that's where the growth areas are. Our men's Division III was over 100 teams again this year, where we were pre-COVID. We talked about men's 1 growth and men's Division I growth, and men's Division II is our largest division. And we're approaching almost 200 teams in men's Division II. So I think we want to continue this momentum. We want more and more people to be part of it. And in my role, the most satisfaction I get, aside from seeing our student athletes, in their faces here at the national tournament and enjoying the experience, is the ability to go out and talk to prospective student athletes and families about who we are. Because there's still a long way to go to educate people on the ACHA, and to me that's a challenge, but it's great opportunities for us.
As someone that through a career has been involved with not only with hockey, but with education, what are your feelings on the stories that we get from young men and women that really have followed the beacon of hockey and then pursued a university education to be able to continue to play hockey, which I think is awesome. I talked to a young lady and within the last 2 days, I don't remember yesterday or the day before, wanted to go to West Point. She went to West Point, visited. They didn't have hockey, so she said, I'm going to the Naval Academy.
How about that?
Yeah, so tell me, your thoughts with the experience you've had for these young student athletes who some probably would never have pursued university education, except the ACHA allows them to be involved with something that they love tremendously.
Well, the good news is I know West Point is very interested in starting hockey, so that's good.
Yeah.
We have it on the men's side here. We actually had the Navy, Army, and Air Force here together, at one time amongst different divisions. But yeah, for all of us, everyone here has a strong passion for hockey, right? And hockey led it for me. Hockey for me when I was much younger, it put an emphasis on academics for me because, I understood the importance of the academics. If I wasn't going to do well academically, I was not going to be allowed to play hockey in my youth, right? So it really is a driving force. And I think nowadays as more families and prospective student athletes understand the importance of academics to be able to play at the next level, in the amount of time they travel at the youth levels, they have to be disciplined and they have to be structured and, academically be doing well. We come down every night or every morning off the elevators from our hotel and, we're walking up by the coffee shop there, and it's amazing to see teams early in the morning. They're all out with their laptops open and they're doing homework like 3 hours before a big game here because they know they have to do that. And so it's hockey is allows them to go to college, and the ACHA to go to college almost in any state you want in the United States, and continue to play while you're earning your college degree. We have California, we have 26 Division II teams in California. You go across the country. Arizona obviously now does have NCAA, but we have a lot of ACHA teams in Arizona and Texas and all these non-traditional college hockey markets. Yet at the same time, we have a lot of good hockey programs as well in the traditional college hockey markets. Academically, my last point I love talking about is on this topic is when I took the job, 6 years ago now, I looked in Newsweek and I saw the top 25 universities in the world, in the Newsweek, so this would have been 2018 or whenever it was. And of the 25 top universities in the world, 17 of them are in the United States.
Wow.
And of that 17, 14 of those universities have ACHA hockey.
That's awesome.
So, we have, as you know, the most competitive levels, and yet at the same time, maybe some student athletes want to go and play college hockey, but their academic field is so strong that they just don't have the time commitment to make for that top level. We still have those options in the ACHA. So it's as you said, my career has been through education and working in higher education, so that's very important to me. And the ACHA brings that component, and we're committed to that component.
National meeting. We are moving. Had been in Florida historically. Going to have a change of venue, going to Nashville in the beautiful state of Tennessee. Tell us when that is, and give us a little teaser on the national meeting.
Sure. Yeah, trading in the flip-flops for the cowboy boots.
There you go.
Yep. No, you know, a lot of, you know, again, assess and reassess. You know, things have changed. We had, you know, great meetings for a long time in Naples, Florida. The American Coaches Hockey Association and the ACHA, you know, have been kind of holding our meetings at the same time in the same place over a long time, and a lot of good camaraderie, a lot of meetings, a lot of crossover, a lot of social. It was really nice. But the facility that we had it at for a long time was bulldozed down for just like everything by the water for condominiums. And,
right.
and so the Hockey Coaches Association had to find another place. It forced us to find another place, and because of that, we never had the overlap as much. Our membership numbers were pretty decent at the annual meeting, but they could be much better, you know. So we took this opportunity, and maybe post-COVID, used that as a bit of a reset, and said, let's see what we can do. We'll move it around a bit, and okay. Nashville is the place to go. So I was really kind of not sure what to expect, right. You know, when I presented this to the board, and looking forward to next month presenting it to our membership in person. But they're excited. They're excited. I've never heard so many coaches saying that their spouses are coming with them now, and wow. So forth. Yeah. So we expect bigger numbers. Nashville's a fun place to be, a good place to be, more centrally located for our membership compared to Florida. I think we'll miss Florida. We'll miss the sunshine and the beaches. Sure. But there's other opportunities now too. So we'll see how this plays out. And you know, I understand USA Hockey's also moved some of their meetings now. Their winter meetings that were in Orlando for a long time, that they're now going to Nashville as well. So I don't know. Maybe we're a bit of a trendsetter.
There you go.
But we'll see how it goes, and of course we'll assess that and reassess and see what's best for our membership.
Well, Craig, thanks so much for taking time out. You're a busy guy. Men's 2 crowned tonight, women's 2 tomorrow, women's 1 on Sunday.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for this.
Thanks for everything you do.
Oh,
and
Craig, my pleasure.
There, Devin, and the student athletes love this part, and this is a big part of our success. So you never smiled when I said that before.
Oh, you're very kind. No, you're very kind. And you know what? I mean, I am obviously, with my line of work, I'm a huge fan of higher education, and you know, I think that if hockey can act as a vehicle, I think education always benefits people. So I love that I can be part of the vehicle that gets, you know, hearing some of these stories of young women from parts of the United States and parts of Canada that go back, and hockey's the vehicle that gets them there. And you know, I love having someone sitting here and telling me the stories, and I really enjoy it. So thanks so much for having me back again.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Craig Barnett, Executive Director of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, with Hertz version of the State of the Union.